want to talk to you guys about the tragic death of Glee star Cory Monteith, who of course is also famous for dating his co-star Lea Michele. Now, he was 31 years old when he was found dead in his Vancouver hotel room, okay? And many people speculate that substance abuse was involved. Now, we don't know yet. You know, the coroner and the autopsy is scheduled for today. However, because he did a stint in rehab just recently in April as well when he was in 19, and he's been very open about his addiction and him dealing with substance abuse, because he wants to put that out there for people to talk about it and remove the stigma. Now, people in the past few months have said that he has appeared very healthy and very happy. And he and Lea Michele were just in Puerto Vallarta together, and she was very vocal about supporting him and his struggle with substance abuse. Now, recently, he told E! that he was really, really happy to be coming back to Glee, and that he was committed to getting sober, and he would say that this would be his last chance. Very eerie words to read out loud now. This is according to a mentor who runs a children's arts charity who was with him, and she said he looked so good just 2 days before his death. He was so healthy. I hadn't seen him look that good in a long time. He was in great spirits. Now, she said that when they went out, there was no drinking involved. However, TMZ is reporting that the day that he checked into the Vancouver hotel, that he had been drinking. Of course, that's all speculation. I don't know what proof they have. Lastly, I want to talk about Lea Michele. She's asked for everybody to respect her privacy, and a source close to her told Hollywood Life that she's absolutely hysterical, completely inconsolable. She's devastated beyond belief. I cannot imagine. I don't even want to do the 5 words or less. I just want us to talk about what were your thoughts. Bree, I know that you have mutual friends with him, so what were your guys' thoughts when you heard about him passing?
It was insane. Like, it's so hard to believe. I can't believe it happened, honestly.
Very talented, so very loved. Your friends had the best things to say about him, am I right?
I just feel so bad for everyone.
It goes to show that everything's an inside job, that somebody that appears to have everything and have money and have success and happiness and look good, which I think the look good, that people putting so much emphasis on that is kind of interesting, because you can look great and then have one hell of a bender, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but you can look great and still die the next day. Yeah.
Substance abuse is a daily battle, so just because you had a great week or a great day one day is not to say that you're going to be okay the next day, if this was indeed involved with his cause of death.
This is a bullshit, feeling I have about the entire conversation surrounding this death. Because everyone's like, I'm not speculating. Like, what the f are we supposed to say? Like, how does that conversation go out? My instinct is to say, don't do heroin. And it's like, oh, the problem if you say that, then you're implying that Cory Monteith did heroin. Who gives a f if Cory Monteith did heroin that day or 10 days before? Just don't do f***ing heroin. First of all, heroin and cocaine are the two drugs that can just kill you the first time, regardless of how much you do or when you do it or if you had a fun meal. Like a good base, you could just die from those two.
Let's talk about addiction in general, because I think every viewer out there can relate to somebody. They have sympathy or empathy to somebody in their life that is dealing with substance abuse or addiction, or they're dealing with it themselves. So let's talk about the fact that addiction is non-discriminatory. You can be good looking, you can be famous, you can be rich, you can be black, white, Asian, purple, it doesn't matter. It can get you. In the vein of addiction, in his case, he has all the money in the world to seek treatment, to have therapy. So is it because addiction is addiction? Is it because being a famous actor that you are surrounded by events and parties that you're required to go to where drugs is more prevalent? Or is it because fame in general may give you a false sense of invincibility?
No, it's addiction. Because for him, he started when he was 19?
Younger, 13. He admitted
13,
at
when
13.
he wasn't famous.
When you're on drugs like meth, and heroin, something goes on in your brain. I'm not a doctor, but it completely changes the chemicals in your brain.
That's why it has nothing to do with money or socioeconomic status. There are plenty of rich drug addicts and there are plenty of poor drug addicts, and they may just do different drugs because you can more easily afford crack than you can, say, designer cocaine or something. No matter how successful you are, you don't heal that. You know what I mean? I'm a comedian. Comedians are by and large considered drug addicts and alcoholics and all kinds of other stuff.
And insecure and depressed.
And insecure and depressed and all that great and all that great stuff. Right. But at some point you got to conquer it and then go on and be yourself. And most people in life, comedians or otherwise, don't really conquer their stuff.
Right.
And we all walk around with these wounds, and then you can fill it up with drugs.
The thing with Monteith in particular is he's not who we'd expect to be an addict.
Right.
You know, because like there's Glee and there's singing and there's Lea Michele. So this is just kind of catching us off guard. Because sometimes when I watch Glee, I feel like I'm on drugs because it's such a weird experience. But I don't expect them to be doing the kind of drugs that will get you dead.
You can't tell, and I think this is just a further example that if you don't equip yourself with whether it's a strong support group, whether it's rehab, whether it's daily Al-Anon courses for the family members, because listen, having addiction affects everybody around you. So for those who aren't suffering from addiction but know somebody that does, go to Al-Anon courses because you need to have your tools in place too. I'm sure with Lea Michele, she was very supportive with him, and good for her. Really quickly, going back to the aftermath, how do you guys think that Glee is going to handle it? How are they going to deal with the loss of the character?
If the autopsy proves that he was having substance abuse issues, he will die of substance abuse, I think.
Right.
So, I mean, why not? The whole thing about Glee is like, let's, you know, if there's issues, we'll tackle the issues. And I think that's the most tasteful way to do it.
There's really a teachable moment here.
Yeah.
Like you show that this person that everybody loved. I mean, I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about him.
Yeah.
So you show him and let him exit in a way that actually gives something to the audience.
People deal with addiction every day. It is a disease. Please remove that stigma that only poor people are dealing with it, or only people from a specific socioeconomic class. It is okay. It's how you go about it that's important.
If you have an addictive personality, you're going to find something to get addicted to, whether it's drugs, whether it's gambling.
Or whether you grow up in an area where your mom's a drug addict, or your dad, or your friends are. It depends. Not everybody is so lucky to grow up in specific environments. So we have to also, some babies are born crack babies. So there's a lot here. There's a lot. I think that the producers of Glee are going to handle this the best way they can. They seem like very empathetic. And also, I want to say that we, on behalf of Pop Trigger, we do have a lot of empathy for this topic, for the loss of his life, for Lea Michele, for everyone involved, and we are sending out our thoughts and prayers. And please, all Pop Trigger fans, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all next time on Pop Trigger. We want to do a special thanks to MLTD.com. So if you want any of the clothes that we have worn, you can go to MLTD.com, and you can put Pop Trigger in the checkout and you get 20% off. Boop.